listening to another episode of Most Man. How we doing out there? Come on, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Smash the subscribe button, ring the bell, like, comment. We need some comments, boys and girls. We're on Rumble now, too. Smash the like button on Rumble, please. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. JoinTheMen'sClub.com is the website. The email is contact@jointhemensclub.com. So we're back, just doing another laid-back episode. We're feeling like just being laid back today. Doing a little drinking, doing a little smoking. Not smoking, we're smoking cigars.
Hooty-hoo.
Yep. Yeah. Let's I think we agreed to let's talk about the app a little bit. Where we're at on the app, Tyler.
We are having our first meeting tomorrow. Or well, that's not our first meeting; it's our second meeting.
Yeah, but we're only like what? Well, when this one airs, it probably will be landing. The app, or are we 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out?
Well, they said it was anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, so it could be next week. The back end, at least.
Yeah.
The launch, because once they do the back end, I'll have to spend like a day or two laying out the display, and then we can release it just so it looks good enough to let go of, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be next week, Friday. It could be the week after or the week after. So we're kind of playing it. I think we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a little more updated on it.
Okay.
Could be as early as next week.
Yeah, but what are your plans? What do you got going on in that not little head of yours, but I know your brain's cranking on it. So what I know what you're doing, but they want to know what you're doing. So
this will be it'll be nice for the interactive part a little bit from our standpoint. So whenever you download the app, we'll be sending out push notifications and things like that, but we're going to make it fun and enjoyable. And then there's things that we can participate in. So we can start scheduling out other types of events. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we can come up with. But for now, the interactivity, I think, will be nice. When we introduce our subscription methods, we'll be able to introduce that and lay out what your different options are. So there's quite a few different things that are coming up. And
it's really main to make it more, because the way it is right now, the only way to communicate, because we got 6 billboards up in the DFW Metroplex right now, and they're working. So, and we're only like 10 days in, and we're already getting what typically normally takes a month. The interaction that we're getting now they're working. So with the app, it's gonna, and we're also doing a text code. What's that code called?
Short code.
Yeah,
a short text,
to where y'all can text in off the billboard instead of emailing, getting on the website and go. So we're trying to consolidate everything to where it's just send us a text or download the app, and that's it. And then the communication level from there is so much easier than getting on the website, emailing. You can send us a quick text. You can call in live on the show. We're about to go live.
Yep.
Start doing dailies to where you can call in on the live. So, yeah, the app is going to make everything so much easier.
And that was the other part. Yeah, I mean, you just brought up my next thing I was going to bring up is when we do the live show, the daily show, then we can text out stuff and push you to like come interact, because you'll be able to talk on the chat. You'll be able to call in, like you said. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to come on the show, but you're kind of interested in like calling in and, you know, throwing whatever you want to say, if you like whatever the subject of the day is, or if you have some random question you want to ask, whatever.
We'll be able to see it right here.
Now we're wide open. You'll be on air with us too.
Yeah. No, and that's when it's going to get fun. And we've been talking about this for a while, but man, let me just tell y'all something out there that this thing just kept morphing and morphing and morphing and morphing. And me and Tim just had this conversation outside of you know, because right now I'm just writing checks, right? But how does this thing make money? And it's not a money grab to y'all. It's there's a whole bigger picture behind the scene of the men's club and how the men's club works. And the membership, you're going to get something for your membership, and we're not looking to just like grab money from that. That's not the point. Okay. But it's hard to explain everything whenever it's not in place yet. And to do something like this, it takes a minute to get all this stuff built. It's not just turning the cameras on and go, and then everything happens. I mean, there's a lot of groundwork to make something like this go. It looks simple on YouTube, but what we got to do and all the planning and all the, man, it's time consuming and it's expensive. But here's the thing: we've got the momentum on our side is the good thing. And I'm starting to see light at the end of the tunnel on all the avenues. There's so many different avenues. But the main thing about the men's club is that we want you to benefit off of that. Everybody in the men's club, it's just going to be like a fraternity of business people. We're going to have all sorts of avenues to either build businesses, make money, side hustles, real estate, anything to where you can just do it on your phone. You don't have to, or come to one of our meetups to where, with AI coming, and this is kind of the whole point of the men's club. Okay. Is that there's a whole swath of people out there, and it might not be you, but there's a ton of people out there that are stuck in corporate America, and they're stuck in these jobs that, with inflation and with the way that the world is just crazy right now. And why I'm bringing this up is I just got done shopping for land the last week. And I was like, dear God, man, how is anybody with a regular job making 60, 70, 80 grand a year, even 50? How in the hell are you supposed to get ahead today? And number two, money.
Hell, breaking even is a dream.
That is,
can't even break even.
They can't.
They're getting ahead.
Yeah,
breaking even's a bitch.
Well, because I've got money, and thank God that I made money on all my investments that I had when I sold them. But dear God, I talked to my bank the other day. This is my bank, and the interest rates are 8% at the bank. If you can even get the loan, they don't even want to loan you the money. And it's because so here's what I've, listen to this. Okay. So I'm in my bank Monday. Okay. Supposed to go in there for a 30-minute meeting. It turned into a 3.5-hour meeting. Okay. And I've got money in their bank, a lot. Like, for what I'm asking to borrow, I could do it 3 times, 4 times. I've got that money in the bank, cash. And they're like, well, I don't know, man. It's okay. So let's just use a round number. Okay. $100,000.
All right.
For a couple acres. Okay. Do you know that land out the BFE right now is going for $25,000 an acre? This is in between the asshole of Azle, Springtown, Weatherford. That triangle, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not Poolville. It's not any of that. This is in the middle of nowhere. This is dirt road land. $25,000 an acre. If you're lucky. If it has trees on it. That could be $35,000 an acre. So the bank told me, they were like, take the $100,000. Well, here's the thing. That land's only going to appraise for $50,000. They don't give a damn about what's selling around the area for 25.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to buy that land, I've got to pay 20% of the appraised value of 50. Okay. So that's what, $10,000?
Yep.
Okay. Well, guess what? I have to make up, it's going to cost me $70,000 to buy a $100,000 piece of land, because I have to make up that appraised value that was deficient, or they won't loan you the money.
Yeah. Anybody can ask what they want. That's the way to look at it. The asking price is $100,000, but they say it's only worth 50.
And they're only going to loan 50.
Right. And the whole world out there is getting that the higher number when they sell it, but the bank, they're covering their ass.
Well, and they don't even want to be in real estate right now.
They don't know. And that's if they're stuck with it, they want to get stuck in a good position.
And they're going to be stuck in a damn good position. But how long do they have to be stuck in it to sell it at 25? Because it's everywhere else. So what I'm getting at, in the men's club, I am working with private equity guys that work and deal in real estate and real estate only. Okay? If you want to dabble in the real estate, whether it's rental, investment, I can get that money cheaper than what the bank can get, because the bank don't want to lend it.
Kind of like a contractor with, I don't want this job, so I'll just throw some stupid high number at it, and if
it sticks, it sticks.
Then all right.
If not, hire somebody else. So that's what the men's club is about, is pooling all of our resources together to get everybody the best deal possible in any endeavor that we're doing, whether it be vending, real estate, starting a business, and with this private money that I'm talking about, when Tyler's talking about the membership program, that's what the membership program is that if you come in to, let's just say, the vending side or the real estate side, because that's the easiest to talk about, okay? As long as we're involved, because the people in the men's club, we've all built businesses. I've bought and sold a lot of real estate. That's where I've made a lot of my money. I've ran big businesses, so I know how to write the business plan, how these private equity guys want to see it, okay? Because normal banks, going to a bank and a private guy are two different things. Private people have got more money than banks, okay? And it's easier to get private money.
And they make their own rules.
They make all their own rules.
Well, even if the bank could make their own rule, they could just,
the Fed. It's the Fed.
Well, yeah, we'd like to help you, but
underwriting,
yeah.
the Fed, underwriting, the Fed.
Kind of like a car dealer guy that's always got to run and talk to his boss and comes back. Well, we want to help you, but
yeah,
they ain't going back there to help you.
This guy hadn't even called me back. I was there Monday. He hadn't even called me back. And I've got cash in the bank to buy the piece that I want. And I was like, so okay, so let me finish this first.
Sure.
Okay, so the bank, it's hard to get money right now. Private money, as long as the deal's right, it's a lot easier. As long as the business plan makes sense, as long as the investment makes sense, a lot easier. Interest rate, not 8, 6, sometimes 5. Because they look for the long term, and they're looking into the future because they watch money. They know how money moves. They know how money works. But it's billionaires that are investing into their funds that just want their money working for a certain percentage. And as long as it's working, that's all they're worried about. So that's what jointhemensclub.com, that's what the men's club is that we pool all of our resources to where everybody wins, okay? But you may not want all that, but there's a lot of people that do. Especially, my whole point is that AI is coming. Well, it's already here. But, I mean, there's going to be a swath of people that are stuck in the corporate world right now that they think they're hurting right now. The hurt's coming. Like, I just don't understand how people are living right now. I got my hair cut today, and she just got done getting a degree doing what did I say it was? It was the cybersecurity and all that. And she thought she was just going to come out of college and get a job making a couple $100,000 a year right out of the gate. It's not happening. You have to have 5 years experience. So she's still cutting hair. Okay. So she's like, look, we've made more money in the last year and a half than we ever did when I was going to college. And she said, we're hurting now more than what we were hurting back then when I was going to college. The budget we were on then, and the budget we're on now, we're hurting more now, and we're making more money than we did then, and we're hurting more now. So that's the point of the men's club and the membership. So that's when Tyler's talking about memberships, that's what the memberships get you, is it gets you into the pool where you've got a group of guys and gals that know how to get away from that whole bank situation. These private equity guys are looking they're looking. This is opportunity for them. Even so, the bank is doing what the bank's doing. So they're ready to do the opposite of what they'd rather take all this business from the bank, as long as it's a solid deal. But so the membership base that's what you get in the men's club. Is that if we help structure the deal, whether it be vending, real estate, those are just the two easiest to talk about. There's safe bets. The vending is a freaking safe, low barrier to entry. And those private guys are like, boom, let's let that. I talked to him last week, and we had the conversation of they said, if we want to get in this game, if we want to buy routes and buy routes and buy, like, these are vending machines that are already in locations, whether it be a car dealership or whether it be a business that's got 2 or 3 employees. And they're like, okay, well, we don't want to buy just one route. We want to buy 100 good ones. You know, now let's divvy it up between 10, 20 different people, right? Of people that are wanting to get in the side hustle or get out of their corporate work. You know, these are safe bets. They're already making the money. The money's there. The asset's there. And you're buying the asset on pennies on the dollar because that asset's already been depreciated on their tech. They're just wanting to sell it because now they're at the peak of their, all they're doing is selling you their sales. Okay? To where it's an easy purchase. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like rental, apartments, duplexes. They're already full.
Mini storage warehouse.
Warehouses. You're buying the cap rate. They call it cap rate. Okay? That's what I was looking to get into storage when I sold the company the first time. That's what you do. You build the storage unit, you get it 80% full, and then an investor will come in and buy it at cap rate. It's 80% full. They're buying the revenue. That's all they're buying. So these deals are to be had everywhere. There's a mom and pop RV parks, storage, vending, rental, apartments, duplexes, anything. Why do you think they're popping up apartment complexes right and left? It's because the government wants to build these 15-minute cities. They want everything within 15 minutes. Okay? So that's what the men's club is. And when the app, that's just going to give you, I didn't want to travel way down that road, but the app is going to make it so much easier for you to interact with what we're building. And I don't want to shove it all down y'all's throat right now because it's not complete. It's not complete yet, but that's the future of what we're building, is a way for everybody that's in the men's club. Yes, it's subscription based, and how far you want to go in is how far you want to go in. You may not want to go that far in. That's fine. You may just want to be a part of it and slowly get in. That's fine. But we're building a network to where everybody wins, and there's different sectors of the men's club to where this side might be winning a little bit more than this side, but this side still wins off of this side, right? It's all about everybody wins.
See, and everything is in life. You kind of got like the system. You know, are you part of the system? Are you in the system? You know, well, you got utilities. The men's club, it's kind of designed to how to beat the system, or how to beat the man, or how to have a different way of achieving, instead of signing up, like solar panels. Here's a good one for you. You can sign up for solar panels and rent them, and they do this, and then there's all these drawbacks. Or you go buy your own solar panels, and you hire an electrician, and he puts them in, and they hook it up, and you cut out about 6 middlemen. But your average homeowner, they kind of need to be coddled a little bit, you know? Well, then they sign up for stupid shit because we'll take care of this, we'll take care of that, we'll take care of this. Now, it costs $40,000.
And 6 people are getting lined.
And you got to sign all of this shit. And then when your house gets hit with hail, well, you didn't own the solar panels. They own the solar panels. Oh, you didn't get the tax credits. They got the tax credits because you didn't own the solar panels. But, well, they said they gave me it cheaper because they took the tax credits into account. Yeah. And buy your own solar panels. Hire a guy that knows what the hell he's doing. And put your own shit in, even if you got to go to the bank and get a
Well, no, don't go to the bank. Go to the private equity.
Exactly.
Guys.
But my whole point is, even if you went to the bank and cut out the 6 other people, you can put up with the shitty part being the bank if it's the only shitty part of the deal.
Yeah.
But if you got 6 shitty parts of the deal, then it's a shitty deal.
I didn't even think about the solar. That's a good point.
Buy your own, own your own, depreciate it yourself. Make all the money off of it. Don't split it with all, man, that solar thing, it's such a gimmick, man. No, it works. My son, he doesn't have an electric bill. He scratched a check for his solar, so I know this to be true. He's 28 years old, had it for 3 years. He won't have an electric bill the rest of his life. If I took all the money I ever paid on my electric bill from the time I, had my first house, and I put that same money in an mutual funds or whatever, I'd be a multimillionaire.
Well, so how are people making money getting power back? Like the power company has to pay you. How does that work?
There's only a few that do that. See, it's all part of the deal.
If you're buying from somebody else, they're the ones making the residual.
If you produce too much, they won't. Some of them will give you a credit towards future stuff. Some will write you a check for it. But there's not many doing that, and I could mention 1 or 2 that do, but they ain't sponsoring us, so I won't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the solar game is a big game.
And it in theory, and it all works. I mean, it really does. And you can put a battery backup with the thing, so if your power goes out, I mean, you can't just run your house like for 3 days like nothing's going on, but keep your refrigerator running. You could have a window unit in your bedroom and stay cool when it's 100 degrees outside. And there's tax credits galore on putting a battery in. I mean, but you got to know the whole deal.
And there's so many companies out there that have just...
And they'll blow smoke up your ass, and they'll mislead you. And you got salesmen that make money on commissions. They're probably not the most scrupulous people in the world. Here, sign this. It'll all be great.
Well, I bid back when I was doing the environmental work. I bid a big solar farm down in south of Waco. It wasn't even to Waco. It was
I remember when you were telling me about this.
Yeah,
Hillsboro or something.
Hillsboro area. Yeah, man, dude, they were putting in. They bought this cornfield land for nothing. No, well, not nothing, but nothing compared to. But all they're doing is they're putting in a solar farm, selling electricity to the providers.
Yeah.
So that's what we needed to. We're not on that we don't need to discuss that here. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, that's a whole.
There's a way
if you had a chunk
of land, or something, to where you could put in a small farm. That those private guys would be interested in that. You see what I'm saying?
Because
that's a solid revenue stream that's based off Mother Earth up there, and it's reliable. It's there every day.
But what you got to watch out for is whose toes are you stepping on and who comes shooting for you, just like you in the concrete thing. The bigger you get, the more people, you're stepping on their toes. And the more, smoke-filled back rooms kick your ass.
Well, I think this solar farm in Hillsboro, they were sending the electricity to Chicago. It wasn't even going to Texas.
But so can you imagine the paperwork that has to go on with how all that works? And all it takes is one swipe of the pen by somebody, some county guy or somebody, and cut you off at the legs, and you got all these millions of dollars invested. I'm telling you, the bigger you get, the more you got to have your head on a swivel.
Oh, for sure. Let's not get into that, because that's diving into something we don't even know about.
But as far as just residential goes, If you're out there and going to get solar panels for your house, talk to some independent people and find some reputable people and just buy the things yourself and hire a roofer can put them up there. It doesn't take an expert to do any of this crap other than hooking it up to the grid. There is some electrical that needs to go on and some permits that need to go on, but you only got to do it one time and you're good to go from here on for 20 some years.
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, but I don't want to go down that hole because we don't know enough about it. But I do know that a friend of mine, you know who I'm talking about, there for a while, we were putting a program together to where we were going to lease big warehouse space, like big rooftops, and lease the rooftop, put in the solar. The investment would the consumer, whoever owned that big box warehouse, the investors would pay for the solar panels to be installed properly, give the guy his own power for free in the lease, and then the rest was just.
And the holy grail of those is all these Bitcoin miners, because they use power like there's no tomorrow. So you could put it up there, and if they're not using it, somebody else can, The whole key to the weirdness is they don't really like you selling it back to the grid. And if you do sell it back, it's just pennies.
But it depends on the thing that when we were doing that is the what do they charge by the kilowatt? What
Yeah.
They pay, you pay by the kilowatt hour, is that right?
Yeah, KW.
Yeah. So the problem with Texas is the price of electricity is not high enough to make any money yet.
Yeah, it's about a third of what California is, or
all those northeastern states.
Yeah, California is like 30 cents or something. Where I think I'm at 12 cents at my house, which I had a long-term thing, and it went from like 8 to 12. But 12 is chump change compared to a lot of these other states.
So that's where I got the idea from, was that I was doing some research because I was going to get in the mini storage business after I sold the company the first time. I was going to get into mini warehouses or storage. And this guy in California had an RV storage park to where, they've got to park the big RV buses and all that stuff. Every bit of his roof solar panels, and he was making enough to pay his note and matching what he was making on the RV storage.
And they've changed all those laws, and everybody in California is screaming pissed.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Let's not go into that because it's
there's too many moving parts.
Yeah.
But the point is, there is a way to beat the system. Generally, let me finish on this then.
Yeah.
If you've got your own little ecosystem with your own little solar deal going, and it provides to you, it's bulletproof. But when you start trying to branch out and help other people and make other people's stuff cheaper, and that's when you run into regulatory crap and and the power company don't want you selling power to
and the government wants their tax.
Yeah, it all goes to shit real quick.
Yeah. Well, then let's erase that. But that's just an example of what I'm talking about in the men's clubs. We have people like this that understand the system on how to eliminate all that, eliminate the banks, eliminate to where people, especially private money, they just want their money churning. So they don't have any problems as long as the business plan makes sense and it's written properly. So that's the men's club. But the app, sorry, Tyler, I didn't mean, we got not way off in the weeds, but we kind of, but this is a good example of that. You've got people in the men's club that have been in the nuances of all this bullshit, and you're like, oh man, I'm getting in the solar. No. We've already made those mistakes. You don't have to go there. Let's pump the brakes, find out what makes sense, and make sure your money is making money. That's the men's club and the membership levels of what you want to get into on that. But the vending is a perfect example. It's a low to barrier entry. We're talking the money, even if you wanted to start your own route, we have a guy, shout out Brandon Brooks. How you doing out there, Brandon?
The pickle man.
The pickle guy.
Pickle guy.
Yeah. And he's got accounts landing on his lap every day of people that are they're retiring. They want to get rid of their route. The route's already established.
Heck, he was supposed to be here today with us, but he's out hustling up business.
Dude, has he sent you pictures of that new location he's got in the mall?
No.
I mean, it's a brilliant idea of what he's got. And
don't tell nobody.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, I remember at the vending machines at my concrete company, I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'm making 25 cents on the dollar on these guys' paychecks. They live out of these vending machines. They live. And they'll bang on my door letting me know when we're out of Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, God dang, dude, I'll have it. It's going to take an hour for them to chill. We'll drink them warm. We're out of Dr. Pepper. I'm like, well, fuck, man.
They drove by 6, 7-Elevens at 90 miles an hour to get to the vending machine, and it's empty.
Well, but here's the thing. Mine was cheap. My whole thing was I just wanted productivity out of them. Quit stopping at the gas stations. You know, so they'd race back to buy their cigarettes, their apple pies, their honey buns, I'd walk in there in the morning. I had a guy that every morning he'd buy 2 big, I didn't have the little shitty honey buns. I had the honey buns that were like this big, the Texas size honey bun.
Like a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, and he would get 2 of those honey buns and melt 2 Snickers, and that was his breakfast. And he'd get 2 or 3 he'd be walking out with 2 or 3 Dr. Peppers, eating a honey bun Snickers sandwich every morning for breakfast.
I'd die if I ate one of those. If you gave me a week to cut that thing up and eat it, I don't think I could.
But what I'm saying, so that's what the men's club's about. But the app is going to make it easier, and I'll let I'm way over speaking when I speak on it because this is Tyler's area. But the app is going to make it so much easier for us to divide all this stuff out, and we can communicate a lot easier. And we're skipping all the channels of what we got right now, to email, contact on the website, and all that. So you take it from here.
Well, that's another one of the cool things about the app too, is on the back end, even on like particularly the user side, right? So when you download the app, there is a segment where you get to do your own back end stuff as well. So if there are things that you don't want to be a part of, or if there's a specific niche, just as an example, that this is kind of what you want your app experience to be like, that's pretty much what you designate yourself underneath. So you are almost assigning yourself to very specific things. So if you don't want to be a part of the entire bundle of things that we have going on here, you can pick out small things that you want to be a part of, and like this kind of fits my personality. So that part of it, I think, was pretty cool. The experience that I've had with this in the past, I always thought that was the coolest, because then we can also talk to you differently through the app, because we can speak to you through the push notifications or whatever messages that we push to come through to you, and have, you know, this back and forth with you. It'll be custom tailored to what you like as well. And I thought that part was really cool. So you get to specifically pick out
what level you want to be at.
What level you want to be on. You can pick that, but you also, like, whatever the categories are. If there's like a specific niche, like I'm into poker. So if you want to get into poker, you can put you can apply yourself on the back end of your user end that I want to be a part of this. If you want to be in the vending business, then, you know, I'm really interested in this category. I'm going to apply myself to that. So it actually lets the user on the back end also pick what they want it to be custom tailored to as well. And I always thought that was like an extravagant idea.
Speaking of that, you're talking to the poker master over here. This is a pro. This is a pro Texas Hold'em guy right here. You made your living for how many years on poker?
Full time, at least 2 full years. And apparently I came up with the same concept this guy Chris Ferguson had. He was like the cowboy guy from poker. He was a huge pro. He always preached. I didn't know this until like a couple days ago. I started off playing free rolls. So I would go to the bar and they would have a tournament, and you don't buy in or anything. You sit down, you order some food. You're probably going to the bar anyway, get, so a burger, some drinks or whatever, salad. And if the tournament's usually like 30 to 50 people the most. Sometimes you get the bigger ones, but if you get first place, you get like $100, 150, 200, and then they have bigger ones for bigger turnouts. But I would end up winning these things, not all the time, but when I did, I would take the cash, and then I would go to like the casino, and I would go play in a cash game. And then I would eventually started to get the groove of doubling that up. Because, gambling has a horrible reputation. People dump their whole paychecks trying to win. And I've actually personally seen it. And I didn't understand what gambling addiction was until I saw a good friend of mine really go through it. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. So gambling addiction is absolutely real. But with poker, it's different. You can actually treat it like a business. You can start off for free, collect that money, and then invest it into a higher tier cash game at a legal place like a casino, and then double it up. So I would take that cash and put it to an envelope, and I would write like January 8th. I made $140 on a free roll. This is actually, I'm in the process of doing this again right now. I went to the casino last weekend, and I'm showing everybody online, this is how you do it. And everybody loves the concept because gambling has such a bad reputation. You want to see that you're not taking money out of your business account, your family life or whatever, and putting it into a gambling, whatever. So you can actually separate it. Keep it completely separate. It's like having a part-time job as well. So you can take the $140 that you win from the free roll, double it up. I made $365 on Saturday. So now I have a $505 bankroll. And I made graphics, so I make it look like a little video game that I'm playing. And it's gaining a lot of traction. People are interested in it. And I'm like, do this also. So I'm trying to lead by example. So if you want to get into poker, the cool thing about that is that it teaches you about everything. Like it teaches you how to figure out how people are trying to get around you. You're going to sit in front of every type of person you could ever imagine. I mean, like it gives you a roundabout experience of the entire world, and there's money involved, and you don't have to spend money to make it. So you can literally keep it separate and build your own like part-time job or even a full-time job out of it. And if you follow the program consistently, it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds because you're not touching it. You're keeping it in an envelope, you're separating it. And when you start losing, you're only taking a couple of hits. So like in the, you were just playing poker recently, right?
Yeah, it was a wild experience. I'd never been to a legal poker room before.
Yeah, so Texas has legal poker rooms now, which I know you've seen a couple of those too.
I won the first hand, and then I got smoked. The win in the first hand's always the kiss of death, but anyway.
Now, there's a certain point to, like, subconsciously, you're just going to look down at your chips and be like, oh, my God, that's a lot. You almost can't believe you got to that point. When you get right there, that's when you just get off the table. Because even as good as I am, like, I had to learn this last week, and again, I don't even follow my own program to where I'm like, just go. I made like $360 or $380. I made it like in an hour. I think 45 minutes. I got lucky. I got aces. I hit the flop with an ace. I got a full house out of it, and the guy hit his flush. So I mean, I got paid really fast. But guys were drinking at the table. I could tell that they were very inexperienced players. So I was like, I can stay here and probably make another $200 to $300. So I ended up going down $100, and then I had to fight my way back to get that $100 back. So when I got back to like basically my $100 that I had gone down trying to invest in the game, I was like, okay, go. So I played for 4 hours and I made $365, and it came down to like $91 an hour if you divide it up by 4 hours. So I took it home, and I'm going to go again this weekend, and I'm going to show everybody that out of this $505 that I have from my bankroll, which I have no investment out of my pocket of, I'm going to take $200 of it, and I'm going to leave the rest at home. So when I go and I lose that $200,
you're done.
I'm out of there. And I still have 2 more buy-ins at home. So I'll go next weekend. I'll try another 200. I'll bring the 300 with me this time because it's
free money, house money.
Exactly. So you don't even have to invest into the game. And then you can build your own bankroll. And last time,
can we have poker tournaments in the men's club?
Absolutely.
I was just sitting here the whole time thinking I could take him down in Old Maid. Fuck poker, man. We'll do some
Probably
homemade.
About some
Probably
goldfish.
50
Goldfish.
$50. Heads homemade. Let's go.
All right, maybe I will lose my bankroll then. Thought I was over here being a pro. I'm gonna get my ass.
No, I
kicked.
was impressed with that. That'd be good, man. We should do that one day. Not really gamble, just take some chips. Whoever loses has to go scrub the dumpster or something, wash the toilets. I mean, something.
Well, we talked about that because I want to learn. I'm a blackjack player, and I did really well off this last cruise that I was on. I mean, I got on it was good. Well, number one, I was 14 days on a ship. That ain't fucking happening again. But I was on there for 7 days and I won 20 grand. And I was like, take your money and get the fuck off this ship now.
Yep.
The rest of your vacation is at home. You can buy 10 more vacations with this money.
So you had the discipline.
Oh, dude, I've always I've always done pretty well at blackjack. I had my clock cleaned a couple of times though, but it was because I was drunk, greedy, and not disciplined. But but me and Tyler have talked about that. Is that we're gonna have a podcast to where he's gonna teach me how to play. He knows how to play blackjack, but like, have you played the way I played? The way I told you?
No.
Yeah, we'll do that in the casino. Because when I get hot, I start playing like 2 to 3, maybe 4 hands at a time, and they're big. Like, so I can get up quick. There was one time in Vegas that off of like $300, I got up like $8 grand, and this girl was eating all the shit cards next to me, and I kept sliding her $100 chips. $100 chips. Just stay in the game. That's all I need you to do is stay in the game. I'll keep feeding you. And I was playing 3 other hands over here that were fucking banging. I ended up falling asleep at the table. It was like 4:30 in the morning. Been out partying all night. And I almost missed my flight over it. But I ended up paying some old lady at the front of the line. I was like, here's $500. Can I cut in line so I can cash out and get the fuck out of here? And but no, we're going to do a podcast on, he's going to teach me how to play Hold'em. Because that's something that I think I would be good at because I am disciplined. And that's the thing about when you're doing that on blackjack, man, when you're winning and you got 3 other hands, he is slapping the cards down so fast. Like, you've got to be so dialed in on what's going on each hand. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing each hand, and he's throwing down, and he's doing this to you, man. Like, make a decision. So you gotta think quick. And the most man moment, okay. You make money in the casino in the middle of the night. You do not play blackjack you gotta let all the idiots and all the morons get out of there. You make money at night, in the middle of the night, because that's when the real players come out and they play together as a table. They don't play individual. You play as a team, and you're there to beat the dealer. You're not there to fuck this guy over. You take your hit when you got to take your hit. So, but no, we are going to do that. But yeah, that'd be cool in the men's club to have.
Well, Tyler, I go on these golf excursions with 20 guys or something, and they'll Texas Hold'em game will break out, and I mean there's a lot of money flying around. So
Put me in it.
Well, this is where all my golfing buddies, you've been warned out there. If you ain't watching the podcast and you hear about this later after you lost all your money to Jones over here, it's your own fault because you didn't listen to the podcast. But pay your round of golf, your green fee, your $30, or $50, whatever, $100. I mean, they come up with whatever the bet for, for the greenies and the skins and the da-da-da. Take your hit for the $100 for the day on the golf and gambling. You might win some. You never know. And then win it all back and then some at night.
Yep.
Because they're up there to have a good time, and they all fancy themselves poker players, and some of them are good. They have games at their house from time to time. So I mean, they're not just totally knuckleheads, but they may not be ready for what they're about to get, you know?
Oh, you'd be surprised. It's any man's game. I'm going to
One.
hit that mint one.
Huh?
I'm going to hit that mint one.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Well, that's the thing you said earlier. I looked around the table, and you could see, there were, these.
Oh, you can check them quick.
Well, listen, though. They're amateur, less experienced. You ain't got to have experience to get lucky. I mean, some guys like, I couldn't. The only way to fuck this up is to fold.
Yeah.
Even if he bets wrong, he's still gonna win a shitload of money.
Yeah, I can't escape bad luck. And
you can't beat luck.
It's one of the most frustrating things too, because I will outplay the shit out of somebody, especially when I'm in like higher game. Like this always sounds weird, but Ramadan is always my favorite time to go to the casino because those Indians can let go, dude. They just crap shoot everything on that poker table. I'm like, hungry hippos just taking but dude, one of them come in and just like all in, and I've already got like a monster hand. Like you really can't beat it. The next two cards come out will just kill it. He'll have like a 2% chance to beat me and just wipe out my whole stack. So you can't beat the bad luck no matter what. Even pocket aces, right? Pocket aces is the best hand you can start off with. Statistically, it's only going to win 88% of the time,
which is not 100.
Right. Yeah. And which is interesting. So if you think about that, right? If the best hand you can start off with is 88% win rate, that means that you should only be winning at perfect a maximum amount of 88% of the time. You know what my win rate was? 93.4%. 93.7. 93.4.
So you've milked it out better than it should have been.
Yeah. I got better, but as I can tell right now that poker players are way better than they used to be also, because this was like 2018 when I was getting those statistics. I can tell just by the past year, even just going to the casino, I can tell players are better.
Where are you going?
I go to WinStar. And I like everywhere else, but because I'm leading by example with the structure that I have, you have to mathematically strategize it. So if I went to the Texas Card House and I played the 1-2 game, at WinStar, it's only a $200 max buy-in. At Choctaw and at Texas Card House, it's a max of $500. So yeah, I'm facing my odds. I'm not going to do that well. I mean, I can still do well because I'm experienced, but when you're trying to build a bankroll, you don't want to go to a game like that. I would need to keep playing enough free rolls to buy in for the max at the 1-2 game. Because now that I have 505 in my bankroll that I started off for free, I'm going to go put the whole thing on the table at Texas Card House. Not only that, it's going to cost me $10 to get in the door. I'm going to have to pay out of my pocket $13 an hour to play. So I'm paying out the pocket early. So whatever my bankroll is, it's already being subtracted by the fees. So if I go to the casino, anytime I get involved in the hand, they're going to take a max of like $6 or $7, I guess, with the tip or whatever. So, anytime I get involved, then I get taxed. But if I'm not involved, I'm not having to pay a fee. But at the local games here around here, they get you for the convenience because you don't have to drive an hour to the casino. So if you're trying to build a bankroll, it is in your best interest to follow the smallest structure that you can, because you can just build and build and build and build and build. So you need to have, like, on average you need to get to the point where you have 10 buy-ins at your level. So if you can only buy in for $200 in a 1-2, then $2,000 is needed. That's not how much you need to invest into the game. Because when you take hits, you can come back and you're not like losing your money. So you can kind of fluctuate with that.
Stressed out.
Right. You need the capital behind you, but you're not going to use the whole capital. So 1-3 is the next level up, so you can buy in for $300. So then you need $3,000 to play that game. Doesn't mean you need it. Like, I can use 5 buy-ins. I don't need 10%. But I still do it just to lead by example, because most people will need to follow that. So when you start buying it for $500, you need a $5,000 bankroll. If you want to start playing 5-10, you can buy in for $2,000. So you need 10 of those. So you need $20,000 in your bankroll to be able to play 5-10, and then so on and so on.
Yeah.
So I teach it that way. Once I start hitting like 20 grand on my bankroll, then I'll upgrade to the $2,000 games. But even on those $2,000 games, you're not usually making that $2,000. I mean, you will, but a lot of times on average, in that level, you're going to be making like $700 to $800 a day. And 1-2, for some reason, I can hit like $350 a day pretty often. When I lived in Florida, I lived like a mile and a half away from a poker room that was a Greyhound racetrack. I averaged $350 every single night, which is crazy. But in a 1-3 game, it's almost the same when you're buying in for $100 more. But it's easier to make money, or it's easier to make more money the more that you buy in for, because you have more stacks and you can be much more conservative.
That's why I want to. Sorry, that's why I want to learn, because that seems like a much safer game than blackjack.
It's a lot slower, but it's a lot longer, so you can make more over the stretch of time. And that's why I'm being transparent for the first time. I'm actually showing everybody how much I'm making. I've never done that before because I just don't like to discuss it. But I've done this enough times and I've gotten enough people's attention. I want people to actually do it this time, because it's all management, right? It's the safest thing, the smartest thing to do. I want to make people quit gambling. So following that structure, you can start playing those $10,000 games because you built up $100,000. It might take you 3 years to do it, but you're going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing over the course of time. Most people are just worried about tomorrow. I'm going to go hit the jackpot so I can fix my life.
No.
Slow ride.
That's how I play blackjack. It's fast when it's hot, but it's slow when it's slow.
Yeah.
And he just said a word that is a most man moment. It is called structure. That is one of my biggest. As long as your structure is right and you stay within the confines of what your structure is, and that's a big thing about the men's club, is we teach you structure, because you have to follow your own rules. You can't bend your own rules.
It's all part of discipline.
Yeah, discipline. It's everything. If you don't follow your own rules, that's when, I mean, if you got 85 employees or 125, 250, whatever, as soon as you stop following your own rules, then you release the asylum.
I just put a couple dots together. We've always talked about structure and discipline, but if you have structure, it kind of takes the discipline out. The discipline takes care of itself. The discipline is the hard part. Discipline means I want to do this, but I'm going to do that. But if you have structure, then you're like, I don't even want to do that. And all of a sudden, it's not even a decision anymore. It's a no-brainer. It's the structure already dictated what you're going to do.
Right. Because you've got your ground map and you follow your map because you know your map works. And that's the key to any success in anything, is sticking to the plan when you know the plan works.
How many times do you hear people go, man, I knew better. I fucking knew better.
That's when I lost.
It's almost like hold my beer, nothing good comes from after hold my beer,
No, it doesn't. And that's the whole thing about structure is and it goes to blackjack. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them, man. It's you get up and walk away. If you're up, if you put $200 down and you're up $3,000, get the fuck out of there.
If you can't, make up an excuse. Sometimes if I've wiped out the whole table at poker and everybody's pissed and they want their money back, I text my girl, hey, call me. Tell me you better come home or something. Blow up my phone, I'm not going to answer it. Just let them see you call. If you can't find the guts to just get up,
just puke on the table there. If you stick your finger down your throat and puke on the table.
Yeah. Just design a way to get up out of there. Because getting up and leaving is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Now, if everybody did that, then everybody would just get hit and run. The casinos would shut down. So,
but here's the thing: you're going on the weekends where you're playing against a bunch of guys that know what they're doing, but you're playing against a bunch of fish too.
Well, I was going to actually bring that up with what you were talking about. You said when you go play blackjack, it's a very specific time. It's the same way with poker too. If you go playing during the weekdays, the pros are there.
Yeah,
and I can beat the pros, but they're much more difficult, and you have to play a long game against them too, and you have to do backwards math, which I'll get into later. But I figured out something how to get them too. But Yes, I tried not to go to a casino unless it's a Thursday night, a Friday night, or a Saturday night, and occasionally Sundays during NFL season. Good time to go. Any kind of sports game going on, it's good on Sundays.
Everybody's drunk.
Yeah, Sunday fun days. People are like
A good concert
wanna
and
play.
good concert or something up there at the casino.
Yeah,
Where it drags your average person in that doesn't normally go.
right. I almost moved to is that Gainesville. I almost moved to Gainesville.
To be closer.
Yeah,
And that like Thackerville on the other side of the thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that it?
it's 10 minutes away, and I was just gonna go in every day, just snipe, take some money, come back. A couple hours later, just go snipe, go back. That's all I was gonna do, and I could have made a lot of money doing that.
But do you really enjoy poker or do you look at it as a job, or is it a hobby, or is it a little of both? Or
I don't have fun like I used to, unless now I go play a free roll for free. Like when I have a lot of bankroll, yeah, I'll go to the bar and just experiment and have fun. I'll have some drinks and I'll just I'll do things I would never do, just to see
What the number game is.
Right. I'll just experiment and have fun, and then I won't care. But if there's money involved, I don't. If I buy it for $100, $200, I care. It's not fun. I mean, it's fun. It's fun when I can beat people. I get the enjoyment I get out of it in like a serious game when there's money involved. I get enjoyment out of it when I beat people. Other than that, I have to
Winning feels good.
There's so much adrenaline, man.
Oh,
Even
baby.
at $200, there's adrenaline because I just don't like to lose.
No. Winning feels good, and that's the problem I have with blackjack. Is that once you start winning, because like when I was on that shit, like I don't play the $5-10 tables because it's full of morons. Okay. Yeah, it's all business to me. When I'm at the blackjack table, it's all business. And as soon as somebody sits down, just because they see my chip stack, this happened on the cruise. Thank God this guy was respectful. He was like, man, I'm not fucking up y'all's. Like, he saw us winning. Me and this other guy, we were winning. And as soon as somebody sits down, we stop and we're like, look, dude, do you know how to play? Because if you don't know how to play, we're fucking out of here. You know, if you want to play as a team, we play. But as soon as you fuck up one time, I'm out of here. And you can sit here and lose your whole fucking roll. We're playing as a team here. The goal is to beat the fucking house. So, yeah, we're going to introduce gambling to the men's club. Come on, let's go. No, I can't wait. I want to learn because I think that I would be nowhere near your level. But what I'm saying is I'm smart enough to understand how it works. And I like that because it is a huge brain ache. Like after a night of blackjack, dude, it's like having, people talk about stress, work stress, this, that, and the other. And I did not know what mental stress was until I got stuck in an office in front of a computer all day on the phone, just handling shit. And at the end of the day, I was like, God almighty, man, I've never been this tired in my life before. And it's mental stress is one of it is real. And you hear people like, man, I had a rough day at the office today. And it's like, dude, whatever. If you see what I have to do during the day, labor-wise or construction-wise or whatever, but as soon as you get into that office role and mental stress kicks in, you want to get back outside in the sunshine and all that because you're getting everything that you need outdoors, and you're sweating and you're burning calories and you feel good at the end of the day. Mental stress is the worst.
Well, like I know we're not supposed to talk about suicide, but I'm not advocating for it. But somebody will commit suicide and you hear, man, he had a good job and, nobody knew anything was wrong with him. And, but the fucking work was tearing him up every freaking day. But people, he had a good job. What does that mean? He made a lot of money, the neighbors. Oh, he had a good job. He made a lot of money. But what did it take to get that money?
And the level of stress. I will never. This is a perfect example. I will never forget. And Boom knows about this. I think we even said it on the last podcast. When we started growing, we hired these guys from the competition that went under when we were on our growth spurt. And, man, they worked a half a day with us. I mean, it was a Saturday. It was a half a day. And the look in their face is like, yeah, welcome to work. This is what work is. We work here. We don't fuck around here.
That's why your company went under. Everybody worked like you.
Exactly. And me and Boom were looking at each other laughing, going like, what the fuck?
And you're like,
if you can't
this
fucking
is a regular day.
It's Saturday.
Yeah,
this
we
is
didn't
a
even
fucking,
ramp it up.
Yeah, this is a fuck off day to us, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's real. So, but yeah, that's hell yeah. We need to schedule that sooner than later.
Yeah. It's a big good thing for the men's club to get into also, because
It'd be fun.
I can teach y'all for free, literally. And we have some guests come on. We have 2 spots usually, so I mean we can all play for free and figure it out. The lessons you'll learn from me are going to be the better lessons you can learn anywhere else. People are going to teach you classes or whatever, but I have a little way of teaching people where we don't even look at our cards, face down, and we stare at each other and we all bet each other.
Yeah.
That is how you learn how to play poker.
See, the problem I had when I played poker, or 5 card or whatever, 7, what is it? 5. I'm not a poker, so is it
5 card stud.
5 card stud and 7 what?
So, Riz.
I don't know, but I'll be speaking out of my ass. But my whole tactic was to just bet the pot, and I would win. I would win at first. But then everybody got they were like, dude, he's fucking bluffing every fucking hand. And then they started playing against me. And this is when we were young. I had no clue what I was doing, but I was just like, and we would play dime and 15 cents a hand or whatever, and I'd just be like, shove it all in, $5. And everybody's like, fuck, man, would you quit betting the pot every single time? It's like, well, if you can beat me, let's go. And it worked for a little while. And then I figured out they started going, okay, we're going to start fucking playing this guy. We're going to call his bluff. And they called my bluff, and I'd fucking lose every single time.
Yeah.
It was $5 or $10. I mean, we're playing with coins. We're not playing with.
Well, making them get in there and fight you, that makes them a better player. Because that's kind of my concept too. Like if you do come in here and play against me and us or whatever, I'm going to beat you so bad you're going to want to beat me. And when you get tired of me, I get aggressive like that too. Because I'm making you learn your mistakes. So when I get done training you and you go out and play, you're going to look at everybody else like they're soft.
Yeah, no, it's just as much as a mental game than it is a card game.
Yep. Oh yeah, psychology is half the game.
Well, that's the thing with blackjack is the dealer. The dealer. Every time I start winning, dude, I'm feeding him fucking tips. I want him to stay.
Yeah.
I don't want them to call in another. I want to hear that from every fucking table around, because they're all splitting those tips. They're like, let that guy fucking win. He's paying all of us right now. And the pit boss, I told the pit boss on that cruise, I was like, do you want to hear this more? Let this guy stay here, And yeah, it's blackjack's. I love it because it's fast and my mind moves fast. But I want to learn. That's why I want to learn this. Is because I'm a very good judge of character. You know what I mean? I can judge people, and that's what I want to learn, because life is that.
Yeah.
Business is that.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to hold'em.
Yeah, it really does.
You know what I mean? Like it's life, business. Everything is a business is definitely a gamble. Speaking of the billboards, fucking gamble, okay? Big gamble. But after the first week, 10 days, I'm feeling okay with my gamble. But if you don't go for it, man, you gotta have the grit to go for it, man.
Yep.
So, come on, join the men's club. JoinTheMen'sClub.com. Contact at JoinTheMen'sClub.com. So, man, we got into gambling pretty good there, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, we need to skip. We
don't even know what we're going to talk about. We talk about a few things, and then once we focus on a subject, then we could have done a whole show on that. But if we started out with talking about gambling, 2 minutes later, we'd have been talking about something totally different.
Well, here's the thing. We've already been on how long? 45 minutes?
An hour.
An hour. That's what I'm saying. We've already been on an hour just talking about this. That's how fast these podcasts go. That's why we have to cut them down to an hour, because these things can turn into 3 hours like that. I mean, and it's just having conversations like this, and this is what makes it fun. So this podcast is an extension of the men's club, to where, again, we're this close to where y'all can interact with us live, call in, talk about all this kind of stuff, and that's when it's going to get fucking fun, and I can't wait. So, well, I think the subject of this is the gambling hour or whatever. Or you come up with the title. You'll come up with a good title.
Most Man Poker Podcast.
That's it. Well, let's schedule that. I'm going to go buy some poker chips tomorrow.
I got tons at the house.
Do you?
I'll donate them up here. I'll bring them.
If we can find some different, like those stands that you can stand or something, I have the fold-out table, the chips, the cards, and everything. So we could actually pop up the octagon tabletop. I already have that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We just need it. Or we could put these on those. We have those clamps, too. We could get the microphones out of the way.
Yeah.
Because it's going to need to fold all the way across.
We need to do another one of these with just gambling stories, because I've got some crazy-ass gambling stories from when I was younger. It's kind of why I don't gamble anymore. But they're worth telling. I hadn't told them in a long time. Yeah, we'll revisit this gambling talk.
Yeah, well, man, shout out Tommy Lee Jones Jr., that guy I sold the concrete plant for. Dude, that guy makes fucking $600,000-$700,000 a year playing slots at WinStar. He's got his own parking spot up there.
Jeez.
He goes play during the week after everybody, all the idiots come in there and load him up. He goes in there for 3 or 4 days and just mops it up.
Wow.
Who was it wasn't the Backstreet Boys. There was another boy band that
Kids on the Block or something.
no, it was
That's all I got. It was like, I'm done.
NSYNC.
No, smaller than that. Anyway, it was a boy band, pretty popular boy band. They were up there playing. Had the concert at WinStar, and they had the suite, and they fucking kicked them out to put Tommy in the suite. They were like, "Y'all got to go. Tommy's here."
Wow.
That's how. I don't want to tell all his business. I won't say it, but he's good. But same thing. He's got his money put up. When you're at that level, you're paying taxes on that shit anyway. Like that, he gets his money in the back. He doesn't get it at the cage. He gets it at the back, has to pay all his shit, but that's exactly what he does. He goes up there with a certain dollar amount off his kitty, and that's it. If it's gone, it's gone. If I'm ahead, I'm ahead. But he wins. He's got his own parking spot. It's fucking crazy. I thought he was lying, and I went up there with him. It was fucking bananas. So, all right, y'all got anything else?
No.
Two pretty good ones.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this card flinging we're going to have at some point.
I want to learn. Me and him have talked about this, and he's been saying, he's like, we need to do a podcast on this. So, let's fucking go. You in?
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah. We'll play with just free money at first.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely want to learn.
Loser has to scrub the dumpster.
Fuck the dumpster.
Gotta do something.
Scrub the sink.
Wear a stupid hat or something.
I got a card on the floor over here. I think there's some dude that'll scrub our toilets for $10-15.
Somebody who loses, we got to do something.
Clean the sinks.
Wear the dunce hat or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got to have motivation not to lose. You got to
put a Biden Harris 24 sticker on your car.
Hey, don't get that crazy.
Yeah. Put Biden with a pair of moobs and a diaper and a skirt.
I'll give you $100 to keep that off.
All right. Well, let's end it on that. All right, everybody. Thank you. Please like, subscribe. Smash the subscribe button, please. We need to grow. Ring the bell. Comment. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. JoinTheMen'sClub.com is the website. Contact at JoinTheMen'sClub.com is the email. And coming soon, the app, the text, Rumble. Come to Rumble. It's let's go to Rumble. A lot more fun over there. I have so many restrictions. Talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.